dear listeners, and welcome to Fiqh. Today, we delve into a crucial topic that impacts us all, reducing the effects of climate change from a fiqh perspective. We will discuss the concept of Khalifah or stewardship in Islam and how it aligns with the Sustainable Development Goals. A powerful reference in this discussion is from Surah Al-Baqarah from verse 164, which emphasizes recognizing the signs of God's creation in nature. This verse encourages believers to reflect on these signs, fostering an appreciation for the environment and highlighting our responsibility to care for it. Join us as we uncover the wisdom within faith that empowers us to take meaningful action against climate change while fulfilling our spiritual obligation. Let's embark on this journey together. Okay, so for the first part, please welcome our first guest, Brother Rashid and Sister Noreen. So today, we will explore the influence of human actions on climate change from an Islamic perspective. Islam's concept of Khalifah emphasizes our duty to protect the earth. Now, let's hear more from Brother Rashid.
Okay, thank you for inviting me for our podcast. Now we were exploring the influence of human action on climate change and Islamic perspective. Our focus is in a 2024 article by Mohamed, Hossein and colleagues. It highlighted how Islam principles Khalifah, Adl and Wasatiyah guide the climate change. Supporting these are the studies on eco-inactivities by the Muslim leader and fatwas addressing the renewable energy and deforestation. Now, Islamic techniques emphasize the balance as the Quran from the Surah Al-Rahman verse 7 says, and he is raised the heavens and established the balance. Example like madrasa schools in Indonesia show the fight and drive the sustainability in action. Justice addresses the unequal impact of climate change, urging the wider nation to the support vulnerable communities. Grassroots effort the like of clean water and sustainable farming reflect the ethic. Moderation wasalat here promotes the available waste. The Quran wants in the Surah Al-Ishraq, verse 27, indicated the wasteful or the brother of the devils. Inactivates like a mosque like the recycling campaign demonstrate this principle. Fatwas brightens the fight and the science offering the practicing solution to the global changes while the fostering the collaboration. The take notes is Islamic principle inspire the ethical, inclusive and actionable approaches to the climate change. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Brother Rashid, for your thoughts on the topic. It's fascinating to see how Islamic principles inherently advocate for environmental stewardship. Now, to dive deeper into how these principles are interpreted and applied within a specific cultural and geographical context, we turn to our second guest, Sister Noreen. May I know what is your thought about the influence of Islamic law on environmental perspective among scholars in Indonesia?
So before I answer that question, Islamic scholars known as Pesantren School play a crucial role in fighting climate change in Indonesia. They use teaching from Quran and Hadith to guide environmental care, viewing it as a religious duty. Pesantren Scholar connect Islamic belief with environmental science, issuing fatwa on reducing industrial pollution, supporting carbon trading and following international agreements like the Kyoto Protocol. Their teaching highlight that caring for the earth is an act of worship as emphasized by hadith about planting even at the final hour. In 2009, a significant conference with the Indonesian Ministry of Forest tried to showcase the impact of Islamic theology in addressing environmental issues. This collaboration between the government, scientists and Pesantren scholars helped create effective, widely accepted policy rooted in religious teaching. To conclude, a Pesantren scholar efforts inspired sustainable practices and highlight the power of faith-based initiatives in combating climate change.
Thank you, Sister Noreen, for your sharing. Before we move to the second part of our podcast, may I know your thoughts about Islamic teachings and principles in guiding environmental ethics and sustainable development?
May I give my opinion first? The significant role of Islamic teachings in promoting environmental ethics and sustainable development. At the core is tauhid, the oneness of God, which emphasizes the interrelation of all creation. This principle urges us to treat nature with respect and gratitude. As Khalifah, we have a sacred duty to protect and preserve our natural resources. The Quran and Hadith remind us to avoid wastefulness and care for the earth as a trust from God. This responsibility is an honor that calls for responsible actions. I pass to Radrashi.
Okay, please let me add in the topic wasatiyah. Moderation encourages the wise of resources used aligned with the contemporary sustainability goals. The concept of ummah community emphasizes our collective duty on to take the environmental action together. Islamic scholars provide the legal ruling addressing the modern ecological issue, guiding us in the making choices that protect our planet. By integrating these Islamic principles into our daily lives, we adopt a holistic approaches to the sustainable development, preserving our environment and enriching our spiritual lives. Let's embrace our role as the steward of the earth, working together for a sustainable future. Thank you.
Thank you for your insightful talks. We will continue the podcast in the second part. Bye!
Okay, bye.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, dear listener. Welcome to the second part of EcoFi. On today's podcast, we're going to continue on discussing reducing the effect of climate change on Fiqh perspective. I'm your host today, Nurul Mawadah, and I'm thrilled to have two distinguished guests with me. Please welcome Brother Muiz and Sister Shazwani.
Hi.
Okay, Assalamualaikum to both of you. Okay, thank you for both of you all joining us today. In today's discussion, we'll explore how Islamic principles and practices can address the pressing issue of climate change, alongside the contribution of Islamic finance and institutions. Let's begin with our first topic. Okay, Brother Muiz, could you share how Muslim organizations and leaders utilize Islamic principles to address climate change, and what challenges they face in implementing effective mitigation strategies?
As we know, climate change poses a global challenge that still impacts lives and ecosystems worldwide. For Muslim environmentalists, the call to action is rooted in four Islamic principles: Tawheed, Mizan, Khalifah, and Maslahah. Tawheed, the oneness of God that reminds us that all creation is interconnected. Mizan emphasizes balance, showcasing nature's divine harmony. Khalifah entrusts humans as stewards of the earth, responsible for its care. And Maslahah, or public interest, calls for action that benefits future generations. Muslim organizations are taking innovative steps to address climate change. Public campaigns like the Islamic Declaration on Global Climate Change to raise awareness among Muslim communities. Practical initiatives such as eco-mosques in the United Kingdom and reforestation projects among students in Indonesia translate values into action. Education from Green Hajj Guards in Indonesia to eco schools in California spreads environmental consciousness. However, challenges remain. Limited knowledge and resistance within communities hinder progress. In Indonesia, clerics sometimes lack the tools to convey climate urgency. Elsewhere, skepticism and sectarian fights no cooperation among Muslim organizations. Despite these hurdles, Muslims environmentalists persevere, guided by faith and commitment to Allah's creation. Together, they demonstrate that climate action is not just a duty, it is a sacred trust. Thank you.
Alright, thank you, Brother Muiz. And now, Sister Shazwani, could you explain how Islamic finance contribute to development of Muslim society and support green economy?
Thanks for asking. It's important to understand that Islamic finance integrates ethical principles with financial practices, making it ideal for supporting sustainable development. It avoids harmful activities like environmental degradation and promotes investments that protect natural resources. Products like sukuk fine grain projects ensure that economic growth is aligned with environmental sustainability. Additionally, Islamic finance fosters social justice through mechanisms like zakat and wakaf, which redistribute wealth and address poverty. By focusing on ethical and green investments, Islamic finance provides a unique solution for addressing global challenges, including inequality and environmental risk.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Sister Shazwani. It's inspiring to see how Islamic finance integrate ethical principles into green project and social justice, addressing both environmental and economic challenges. Now, to both of you, how do you think that Islamic institutions like mosques and madrasas help raise awareness and promote sustainable practices to combat climate change?
Thank you for your questions. I think Islamic principles are deeply rooted in environmental stewardship. The concept of Khalifah or stewardship reminds us that humans are entrusted by Allah to protect the earth and its resources. This responsibility is emphasized in the Quran, which warns against spreading corruption on earth, and through the teaching of Prophet Mohamed, who encouraged practices like tree planting and renewable tolerance.
Do you mind if I add something here? Mosques and madrasas play a key role in bringing these principles into action. For example, mosques organize community initiatives like tree planting drives and water saving campaigns, while madrasas educate the next generation on environmental ethics as part of their curriculum. These faith-based actions not only align with global sustainability goals, but also inspire individuals to take meaningful steps protecting their beliefs to combat climate change.
Alright, thank you both of you. Mosques and madrasas clearly play a crucial role in fostering sustainability and environmental awareness, showing how faith-based action can lead to the real world impact. Thank you so much, Brother Muiz and Sister Shazwani, for your enlightening insights. Okay, to wrap up, reducing the effect of climate change from a fiqh perspective means following Islamic teaching about caring for the earth. Islam teaches us to be good stewards, which align with Sustainable Development Goals 13, focus on taking action against climate change. By practicing Khalifah or stewardship, we protect our environment, supporting SDG 15 on life on land. Additionally, taking care of our planet helps those in need, connecting to the SDG 1, no poverty, and SDG 10, reduce inequalities. By combining Islamic value with the SDGs, we can work toward a healthier planet and better future for everyone. Let's remember, protecting our environment is not just a responsibility, but a sacred track. Alright, we have reached to the end of the show. Thank you to our honored guests. Until we meet again to the next podcast. Bye-bye!